What's up YouTube? Today we're in the kitchen, which is my favorite place, and it might be your favorite place too. Go ahead and drop in the comments whether you like the kitchen or the gym more, but I'm in love with both. Listen, I don't know if you guys follow me on social media too, but I've been posting a lot of my, my foods, my meals, my workouts, and I've changed up my diet a lot, which is why I'm gonna share with you today. Because I've made some major progress, and my goal right now is just getting a little bit leaner and just feeling better. Not just looking better, but feeling better. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm doing today, step by step, also with explanation and how you can understand and do it yourself too. So let's get started. Okay, so here's my all-star lineup for breakfast. I want you to come closer so you can take a look. All right, so we have egg whites. All right, we have turkey bacon, uncured turkey bacon, or you can use regular bacon, up to you. All right, I have flank steak. This is a major staple in this recipe. We have spinach, we have avocado, we have whole eggs, and we have some cheddar cheese here, but you can use whatever you want. And I almost forgot, you're gonna need this. All right, the J. Bailey's all-purpose seasoning. I don't know if you tried it yet, but I'm gonna put the link in the bio. This is my all-purpose seasoning and it goes on everything. All right, you see the apron too, coming out with a little bit of merch, so you guys stay tuned. So first things first, if you have to choose between a wood and a plastic cutting board, you always wanna go with the wood. All right, this has microplastics, cuts off, gets into your system, into your food. Next thing you know, you can end up sick. So we're gonna start with the flank steak first. All right guys, so usually what I do is I grill my flank steak. Like I love to grill the steak. This tastes better on the grill, but right now I don't have the grill, so we're gonna be making this, we're gonna sear it. So I would usually cook the whole thing, and I don't like wasting time. Like I know you guys don't have time, so if you can grill your steak, breakfast is probably the only thing that I make every day. Like I make breakfast fresh every day, but usually I meal prep the other stuff. So I'm just gonna cut this in half, save the rest. I did this once and I had a lot of people ask me, oh, why are you putting holes in the steak? Why are you, listen, flank steak is a lean steak, okay? It's not a steak like a ribeye, it's full of fat. It's a lean steak full of protein, and it has some fat, but it's healthy fat, right? This is what we're doing. We're focusing on protein and healthy fats in this meal. So I am going to tenderize this a little bit by poking some holes in it. You see how tough it is? You can actually hear it. And I'm giving you guys all these instructions because I know a lot of you guys watch these videos, don't know how to cook. And if you do know how to cook, you understand what I'm talking about right now. So as you can see, this is not like one of those tender steaks. This actually, it looks like a muscle, right? Your body looks like this inside. This is how your muscles look. So this is good, this is good. You wanna look like this. You don't want all the fat on it. So just imagine having a ribeye, you see that big fat piece. You should know this is low body fat. This is probably like 3% body fat right here if you was, looking like this piece of meat right here inside. So, all right, I tenderize it. What I've already done, what you didn't see me do, is turn on the stove. So the stove is warming up. And all I'm gonna do right now is use some of that J. Bailey's, which I tell you guys about. Goes good on everything, especially on meats. Meat, potatoes, cover it nice and well. This steak is good. This is one of my favorite steaks. I really don't eat any other steaks but this because that and maybe some sirloin sometime, but I stick to the lean meats. So this is the base of our meal. You gotta have steak in this meal to, all of this is a combination. I just want you to understand it's a combination. I'm gonna cook all of it, but we're not gonna eat all of it. So let's go ahead and put it on the stove. All right, key ingredient, avocado oil. This is good for searing, all right? Doesn't have a smoke point. In case you guys are using olive oil, I stopped using that because my house was getting smoky. Measure your oil. All right, I only use a capsule. You guys are just pouring it in there and you're going way over in calories simply because you don't measure your oil, okay? My pan is nice and hot. Now guys, I'm usually eating, see that sear? Got it sound just like that. I'm usually eating a 4 to 5 ounce steak. I don't have my scale, but this is probably a little bit bigger than 4 to 5 ounces right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the turkey bacon in here for time purposes. Oh, somebody, hey, what happened there? So, for time purposes, otherwise I wouldn't cook it together. This will be on the grill, this will be in the pan. Now while that's cooking, we're gonna start on the eggs. All right, 3 whole eggs. You guys know before, I usually don't like to eat a lot of whole eggs, but we are focusing on fats and proteins. We're not going for carbs and stuff like that. This is what we call a keto-friendly meal. And this is what I do in the mornings and what I do at night. So just to give you guys a preview of what I'm doing. All right, 3 whole eggs, 1 cup of egg whites. I'm simply gonna add salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic to this. And just 1/4 cup of this cheddar cheese, the cheddar cheese shreds. All right, I kind of know how to measure that, so that's about it right there. All right, guys. So once your steak and meat is done, put it over here. If you want to take a look at it, you can. It's about medium well. You know, I don't want my steak too rare. I don't know what you guys. I don't know why you like that, but I like mine cooked. Okay. You're gonna need another capsule top, which I think is like a tablespoon. All right, we're gonna get our spinach in, and we're gonna throw our eggs in there right after. So what I do is a handful of spinach. All right, gotta have the spinach. This is a superfood. Oh, hot now. Let it cook down, and we're gonna add our eggs. By the way, breakfast is almost done. It took us about 15 minutes so far. All right, so prepare for a good 30 minutes to make this meal. I have to get up a little early. You want to make this, but it doesn't take that long. You know, I'm sure you guys like on-the-go meals, and so do I, but this is the diet that I'm on, and it takes a little bit of time. I will get up early to make this. Add in your eggs. And right before it's done, add in your turkey bacon. All right, and that's it. One more piece, and let's put this on the plate. All right, guys, so what we have left is avocado. Now, I know you guys know how to maybe cut it, but some of you guys don't know how to like present it nice, and you just go ahead and you just cut it like this. And I used to do that too, so let me show you how to do this. Simply peel off the outside. All right, I know some of you guys might know, but some of you guys don't know. And I want you to, be able to make your plate look nice. So this is all you got to do right here. So pull it off, and that's it. All right. Now you just cut it into slices. Boom. All right. Then put it on the knife like that. Put it on the plate. Boom. Just like that. All right, guys, so here's the final plate. All right, this is my breakfast right here. All right, eggs, flank steak, whole avocado. Now, let me explain. So look, I want to give you a quick breakdown of the breakfast you just saw me make. And excuse the handwriting because I'm not used to writing on these dry erase boards, but here's the breakdown, okay? Here's the recipe. 3 whole eggs, 1 cup of egg whites, 5 ounces of flank steak, 1/2 avocado. Now in the video, I showed you guys a whole avocado. That was a mistake, okay? You can't put cheddar cheese and the whole avocado. So usually I do half. I just miscalculated what I did. So listen, it has to be a half if you're gonna use the cheese. If you don't use cheese, you can do the whole avocado, okay? 2 slices of uncured turkey bacon. Now with this being keto, you can actually eat pork bacon, so that's okay too, okay? You may have to adjust the macros, but it is allowed in this. Handful of spinach, okay? Few things, things you can cut out. You can cut out the spinach, you can cut out the bacon. All right, this is extra. This is what I just made, so I want you to have an understanding. Macros, you're gonna say this is super high in calories. It is, it's 800 calories. But the difference is, it's gonna feel a lot different than if you had carbs, okay? Super high in protein, okay? 88 grams to 90 grams of protein in this meal. Carbs, 8 to 10 grams, okay? That means it's very low carb, but high in fats, which makes this a keto friendly or a high protein keto meal, okay? This is what you're gonna be giving your body in this meal, high protein, okay? High protein builds and repairs muscles. You're getting 88 to 90 grams. So you're gonna say, hey, you can only digest like 30 or 40. Listen, this goes to the amino acid chain and it still gives you energy. High protein is not gonna turn into fat, okay? It's still gonna give you energy. It can still be used. So let's start our protein high in the day because sometimes playing catch up doesn't always work well. This is gonna be a slow digesting meal, which means it's gonna keep you full longer and satisfied. You're not gonna have those cravings like you used to when you eat carbs, okay? This is gonna give you stable energy. So anything very low in carbs but high in protein and fat is gonna keep you more stable. And what that means for you is no blood sugar spikes or crashes. I know you know that feeling. You're gonna have the steady, calm energy instead of the wired and then tired feeling, which is gonna give you what? More mental focus. When I'm on this diet, I'm extremely focused. I'm not having mood swings. My energy levels are coasting, okay? This is why it's so good. Now, you're gonna feel less pumped, which is gonna make you feel leaner in the midsection. You're not gonna carry the water, but this is not a pre-workout meal. This is just to start your day. And what you can expect lastly is little to no hunger. Even after 2 to 3 hours, you're still gonna feel like you don't need to eat anything, but that's because your blood sugar levels are under control. All right, guys, so a few hours after breakfast, all right, we're gonna make lunch. Now, this this is our pre-workout. All right, usually meal prep this food, but right now I'm just gonna make it together for time purposes of the video. So what's for lunch? It's the chicken breast, gonna be rice, and the vegetable. So we're gonna put this in the air fryer together, but usually I would prep this ahead of time. You know, maybe my lunch. Dinner, I might still cook, and the rest of it is not that complicated. So guys, I'm using that J. Bailey's all-purpose seasoning. Goes on everything now, I'm telling you. What I do like to do is tenderize my meat, which I'm gonna do on this side because I forgot to do it. So I don't know if you guys have this. All right, tenderizer. Okay, you wanna get the chicken flat. All right, simple as that. Now, season both sides, and we're gonna throw it in the air fryer. I wanna know which one you like better, chicken thighs or chicken breasts. I used to not be a fan of chicken thighs, but lately, I'd rather have chicken thighs. All right, these are good for dinner, but I'm gonna show you how you can swap all of these out so it can make sense. It's not one particular meat has to go with something. So I'm gonna show you how to do that later in this video. So let's go ahead and cook these. All right guys, for vegetables, you can simply do anything green that you want. All right, asparagus, broccoli, zucchini, Brussels sprouts, like all type of stuff. But what I like to do is called a vegetable medley. So for this video, honestly, like I said, you can mix and match anything you want, but I like putting two things together. So I'm gonna make this broccoli, this zucchini, sometimes I do squash, and I'm gonna put an onion with that and mix it all together. So this is gonna go for our lunch and our dinner. All right, you can cut out stuff. You don't have to always cook too much. This is how you cook in bulk and learn how to just mix stuff together, but you can do just one vegetable at a time if you want, up to you, but let's make it. So one thing that I started doing, I like my stems, right? I used to cut all the stems off and just do the florets, but now I just know that there's so much more vitamins in the stem of the broccoli, right? So I like my stems. I cut a little bit of that off, you know, but I like to eat them. Even I might cook this and eat that with it. So broccoli, nice and simple. You guys know how to do it. All right, just cut it up however you want. All right, so what I did was put the broccoli in first, let it steam with a little bit of water in it. All right, now I'm gonna just add the rest. The onions and the zucchini. All right, the broccoli usually is harder to cook. The onions and the zucchini will cook fast. So you want to get that soft first. Where's my spatula at? Add a little bit of oil to that. As you can see, this is gonna be good for the next maybe 2 days, 2 to 3 days. It was an unintentional meal prep, all right? Just for the video, just wanted to get some stuff done pretty quick. So simply for this, you would just add some salt, pepper, garlic, and call it a day. Let's put the plate together. All right guys, there we go. All right, chicken is usually done around 167. All right, I cook them together. I usually cook them different. The chicken breast on a lower temperature, but since I'm just trying to, you know, take advantage of my time, cook them together. I like my chicken thighs a little bit crispier. These are usually done around 180. So I like these a little bit higher just to get that crunch. Gives you a fried taste, but you never want chicken breasts dry. So try to keep it around like 180, you know, so we're gonna put this together anyway. Let's get this done. All right guys, so this is my pre-workout meal / lunch, okay? What I did was put 1 cup of rice. I got 1 cup of vegetables, and usually it calls for like 6 to 8 ounces of chicken, but I usually eat the whole chicken breast. So I fillet it, and I eat the whole thing. So probably a little bit more than I need. So let me give you the explanation of why I eat like this and why this is called my pre-workout meal. All right guys, what you just saw was the lunch / pre-workout meal. Now, this is the basic, what they call the basic bodybuilding meal, but I call it the performance focused meal because this is how I'm about to get the gains in the gym. What we have is 6 ounce chicken breast. Now you saw a little bit more than 6 ounces. Sometimes I just do the whole fillet and I eat both of them. So probably a little bit more. I'm sure it's around like 8 to 10 ounces for sure. All right, 1 cup of cooked jasmine rice. I do measure that. One thing I want to say, if you need more energy, go ahead and do 1.5 cups. Only thing is, you might have to remove the vegetables or the avocado oil. Now, what's on the ingredient list? 6 ounces of chicken breast. Now, you might have saw a little bit more than that. You probably saw 8 to 10 ounces. Sometimes I put it in the cup. Sometimes I just eat the whole fillet. And I usually eat both because, hey, you can't go wrong with protein. Now, you saw 1 cup of cooked jasmine rice, 1 cup of cooked vegetables. Now, I usually do 1.5 is okay. And I do put some avocado oil on that while I'm cooking it. Here's the macros for this. 550 calories, 58 grams of protein. So we still high in protein right here. Could be possibly be more because you know I ate more. So around maybe 60 close to 70. Carbs, 38 grams, and fats, 18 grams, okay? This is the performance-based meal. Now, what are you giving your body with this? Energy for training and muscle support. You're gonna feel energized, but not bloated. Stable blood sugar and no big spikes. This is not a heavy carb meal, so you're not gonna be crashing once you're done eating this. You're gonna be ready for strength training or hypertrophy training because this meal is specifically targeted for that. Now, here's some small adjustments that you can make with this meal if you need to. If you feel like you don't have enough energy, I will bump my rice up a half cup, okay? So you'll go from 1 cup to 1.5 cups if you feel like you need more energy for more output. If you feel too full after this meal, I will probably cut off the veggies or the fats. You don't need it in this meal particularly. You can eat it for your post-workout or even at dinner. All right, guys, so after a tough workout, and I mean tough, I push myself in the gym to the limit to make sure I use the glycogen that I had. So now I have to replenish the glycogen, and I use these right here, okay? I usually go with this on the go. All right, this is ready protein. This is the Cocoa Pebbles 30 grams protein shake, okay? Easy, ready to go. You don't have to mix it, you just drink it and you got your protein, right? Now, if I'm coming back home and I wanna make a shake, all right, I'm going with this one, the powder, right? This one I put in the blender. I usually go with 2 scoops, which is about 50 grams of protein, okay? 1 scoop is 25, so I go with 2. I put a banana in that. I usually use powdered peanut butter. I have this, but I usually use powder because it's less calories, it has a little bit more protein. And to restore my glycogen levels, I'm going with a bagel, because you guys know I love bagels. You think you can't have this stuff, but when you need it, you can have it. Let me explain. This is the post-workout meal, and it has a specific job, okay? Meal number 3, 1 bagel, 1 banana, 1 or 2 scoops of protein, depending on if you're gonna use the 30-gram shake, or if I use 2 scoops, it's gonna come out to around 50 grams of protein. So macros for this is 450 to 500 calories, okay? Protein, it could be between 40 and 60, depending on which protein you use. Carbs, 65 grams. We need carbs in this. This is very important. And fats, you need them low. Specifically for this, fats are slow in digestion when we need quick digestion. This is pretty much a performance-based meal. You're like, why you got bagels? See, this is stuff that I love that I would eat anyway, and just fitting it in to where they belong. That's why I'm eating the bagel, because it's fast absorption, okay? Quick. This is what you're gonna be giving your body. Fast fuel, fast protein. The job is to refill what you burn and to kickstart muscle repair. What the bagel and banana does specifically is replenish glycogen. This is gonna bring you back to life. The protein delivers amino acids, which flips on muscle protein synthesis. This is an easy way to say it repairs and builds muscle. What's gonna happen? Immediately after you eat this, your energy is gonna come back. Instead of feeling drained or flat, you're gonna feel normal again. And mentally, you'll become less foggy and become way more alert. All right, guys, so as we made most of this earlier, this is my dinner meal. All right, last meal of the day, this is what it looks like. All right, start to get smaller in portion size because I want to sleep well. So I got chicken thighs, half avocado, and I got my vegetable medley from earlier. 1 cup of this, 1/2, and this is usually supposed to be around like 6 ounces. So before we get any further in this video, before it closes, okay, I want you guys to understand, you can eat chicken thighs for breakfast. So sometimes I eat chicken thighs for breakfast instead of the steak. Okay, usually I have either the steak or the salmon. And if I didn't have chicken thighs here, I would have salmon. So these are the 2 swaps that I do. Chicken thighs go well with the breakfast when you put them in the air fryer. So I eat like 4 meats. You know, there's other meats that you can eat. There's no restriction. But for my diet, this is what I'm actually eating. So let me explain how this works. All right, guys, so last meal of the day, dinner, meal number 4, all right? 8 ounces of chicken thighs. Now, I usually go between chicken thighs and salmon. So if you wanna switch that out, you can. So I'll do an 8-ounce salmon as well sometimes. 1/2 or 1 full avocado. I think for me, I like to stick with the 1/2 because I don't wanna go too high on the calories, okay? 1 cup of veggies. Veggies are low in calories, so you can always do more. 1 to 2 cups is always okay. Macros, depending on what you eat or how you eat it, okay? It's gonna be 600 to 700 calories. This is our last meal. Still kind of big, but not too filling. 55 grams of protein, 12 grams of carbs, fats 45 to 58 grams, depending on how you eat this avocado here, okay? Again, this is strong recovery, again, keto friendly or high protein keto meal. So what are you giving your body here? This is strong recovery and muscle support. This meal is gonna keep you full longer and help you reduce late night cravings. With the healthy fats, it's gonna support your hormones, which is gonna lead to big testosterone production. When you eat late, it slows down your digestion and it's not gonna let you sleep as well as you did if you eat 2 hours beforehand. So guys, here are our daily totals. This is a 35% protein diet, which comes out to 225 grams of protein in a day. Carbs, we're looking at 20%. This is a lower carb diet. This is based off of performance which is gonna give us 125 grams of carbs in a day. Fats are at 45%, okay? We're trying to keep our blood sugar levels low, and we're trying to stay full longer, which is gonna increase energy and control our blood sugar levels. So we're at 122 grams a day. Can you guess how many calories I'm eating? Only 2,500 to 2,700, depending on if I'm gonna eat some fruits or a little snack in between. My goal is simply to maintain, not to lose, not to gain, but to feel good and perform well. All right, guys, before we go, I want to give an honorable mention of some of the fruits that I eat every single day. Now, these don't necessarily go in my plan. Like, I just use measurements because I know different fruits help you do different things. So the pineapple, all right, this is strictly for breaking down protein, all right? There's an ingredient in it called bromelain, right, which is helping the protein specifically, right? So you want to have some pineapple in there. Maybe you eat a cup after your pre-workout. It's a little bit high in sugar, so you want to eat this after your workout, okay? This helps you replenish glycogen. Now, kiwis also high in sugar, but this is a digestive enzyme which is going to help you with pure digestion, right? I usually eat this with my breakfast. It's also high in sugar, so you can eat it after or before a workout, but I usually eat it in the morning. Super rich in vitamin C. You got to have some kiwi available too. Now, when it comes to berries, okay, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, all full of antioxidants. These are also really low in calories compared to these, okay? So any berry that you want to eat is always a go. Make sure you get them. Antioxidants, you know, one of the best things about blueberries is the recovery and also helps your brain, right? Helps your brain function. So guys, these are things that you don't want to get away from. Even when you're on a strict diet, you want to have some of this stuff in your nutrition plan. So listen, I saw the video, I still don't understand. I need a plan that can be put together personally for me. Listen, I have a custom coaching program where you guys are invited to come and join so that I can help you get the results and feel good and look the way you want to. All right, all you gotta remember is this. The website is truefitphysique.com. And if you feel like, listen, I just want recipes, I just want to see, you know, the food portion of things, listen, I have a website called cookwithjb.com where you can get my seasonings, you can get cookbooks, all this kind of stuff that you see here are all meals in these cookbooks and even more variety, cheat meals, healthy food with a twist, all these different things that can help you along on your fitness journey if you're struggling with food. So hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.